Hello guys, Steve here, ShenRC. I got quite a few guys asking about how I make the HO cars run on the 1/32 scale track. You could also make it work on the 143 Carrera. And you could make it work on the Carrera track because the rails are the same spaced apart on all those. I don't know about Skeletric, I think they're closer together, but on the Carrera 1/24th, 1/32nd, and the policar track, I know you could do it. So I'm going to share with you guys what I do to the cars, how I do it, and all the new stuff I learned. And I'll show you what I got in here that I use. So let's get to it. First of all, I run the Auto World X tractions. You don't even need braid on these. You just basically have to put the pipe on the guide pin, and I'll show you what I use. I reverse the magnets so they go the proper way on my track, and they work great. And here's the AFX Mega G Plus. These I found also you don't even have to put the braid on the shoes. If you don't want to, they still run, but I put braid on them in the guide with the pin with the red pipe on there. And I also grind out a back notch in the chassis to flip the axle so I could run them in the right direction for my layout. But I'm going to show you what I do now. And here's what I use. Let me go in the box here. These are the pipes. I cut them up. Let me show you. You could see them in there. I cut them up. I made this little jig, and I just stick the red tube in here. Here's what I bought. Ready straws. You get these on Amazon. The hole in them, let me show you. The hole in them is really small. I think they fit directly on the Auto World pins, but on all the other ones you have to drill them out. So I got these ready straws because they're the best ones with the small hole, so you can fit them on the pins in the slot cars. And what I got was, oops, excuse me, this little drill set here. Let me open it up and show you guys. Oh, I just spilled all my pin covers. This little drill set, I'll link it on Amazon. I forget what size it was that I used. I think it was 2mm, the drill. And I drilled out, when I hold the straws, let me show you real quick. What I do is get the drill set. It comes with this tool. Or you could buy these and use these also. I'll link them so you can see what I'm talking about. But anyhow, you put the 2mm, I believe, drill bit in there. And what I do is I get this and I drill it in like probably about maybe not even a ½ inch. Then I would just put it inside my little device I made for the length of the tube, how long I wanted it for the guide and the track, the slot. Then I'd cut it with a razor blade. Then I'd drill it again, put it in there and cut it, and that's how I did it. You just keep doing it like that. And I made all these pieces here that I spilt out like an idiot that I could just put on the guide pins on the slot cars. And I'll show you how they go on in a minute. But first, I want to show you how I also set up these cars for the magnets if you want them weaker, because you could run them stock with the stock tires. They stick really good, kind of too good. But I made a special, another jar, I hope I don't drop these, special spacers out of these really tiny zip ties. Take a look at them. And what I do is I cut them up. Let me get one of these out, or a couple, to show you. You see those? I cut them up, and what I do is when I take the magnets out, let me show you on a car, I did already. I push them in the bottom, then I put the magnet. You can put a little dab of glue on there if you want, but you don't have to hold them on. I just put them in the bottom and then push the magnet down. And what that does is raise the magnets up a little bit. And that makes it weaker on the track compared to a stock one's really stuck down. So this feels quicker and more responsive like that. Let me put these back so I don't lose them. So that's all the stuff I have set up for converting these so far. And then for the braid, if you want to put the braid on, this is what I use. Let me show you this. I pre-cut them also. Little lengths like this. And what I do is let me show you real quick. Let me put this over here. Let me get a needle nose. What I do with that braid is I'll get a little needle nose. And first of all, before I do this, I want to tell you what braid this is. This is the desoldering wick. If you could get it without the flux, get it. If not, you could put the whole thing in, like, what the heck do you use? Acetone or lacquer thinner in a little jar and let it sit and like shake it around, empty it out, do it like 2 or 3 times, then let it dry out to get the flux out of it. So it's just copper, and that's what'll work. But anyhow, that's it. I like this stuff because it's super thin. You could see it. I hope you could see it. Well, anyway, what I do is I get the very end on it with a little needle nose. I just bend it up like this. So that way, I hope you can see that. I know it's kind of small. So that way when I put it on the pickup shoe, and I'll show you one that I did. If I could find one, that is. Where are they? Hold on a minute. So that way you could put it on the pickup shoe like that. And this one is just glued on. And then I put some silver epoxy, contact epoxy on there, conductive, to attach to the braid so it's on the pickup. That's one way I did it. Let me see if I can find the other ones I did to show you guys. But I put a little bit of super glue really thin, then I'll quickly just hold this in place like that. Just like that. And then what I'll do is the tips over here, I'll get some solder and just solder it down till it barely touches the end on each side. And that way it'll hold it on. You don't want to make it suck into the braid and touch the track. You just want to heat it up real quick till it just barely touches the tip edge of this and get some contact on each side so it don't fall off. And I'll show you what that looks like here on this car. There it is on this car. You could see the solder. I went down the front of the shoe and barely contacted the top of the braid on each side so it don't get sucked in, so it don't hit the track, the solder. You don't want it on the bottom. And that's what I did. And that works good. I'm trying to show you all this stuff I got it all over the place. Bear with me. Alright, now here's a normal car. I think I covered everything that I do so far. Here's a normal car. I'm going to show you how these cars work on the track also. With a normal car, all you need to do is put one of these spacers on that I made for the guide, and I'll show you how to do that. You just, after you drill a hole out, like I said, with that little tool that I have linked, so if you want to get it, and the pipes also, you put that on and you just press it on. It fits good. You could pull it off when you need to. That, and then to get normal cars to work without the braid, you just get the shoes here. I don't know if you could see how they are, but they're on an angle. You bend them. I'm going to show you like this. You bend them out like that a little bit, so they sit like a V. You see what it looks like? So you want them like that. Just get them over here real quick and bend them out just a hair. Just like that. And you'll see when they push down, they go flat, but he wants to hit this side harder, and that side hits the rail better. So that's what I do with a stock one to get it running, and you could run the stock tires because they're higher, so it's better. So I'll show you them all running. And now I want to show you the Auto World ones. You basically do nothing. You put the pin on. You could leave them stock. And then the shoes work on these great. You don't really have to do nothing. You may have to like bend them a little bit like this, or you got to play with them just a little bit sometimes, and then they'll run fine. But they run right out of the box. All these run good. You don't even need the braid, but the braid does make them feel smoother. But now I'm going to spark up the track. Now you guys know whatever I did to these cars to get them to work. And I'm going to spark up the track and show each car running and see what you think. Alright, we're at the track. First, I'm going to show you a stock, 100% stock. This is the Mega G Plus AFX with just the press-on pipe on the pin and the tweaked shoes. This one's a little bit too much, but these go backwards out of the box. The only way you could get them to go the other way is if you grind a little notch on this side and flip the gear around. That's what I did on my other ones. So I'll show you this. I'll try to film it and drive it one hand. Ready? Kind of hard. But anyway, that's that. They work without doing nothing. And now I'm going to show you a stock one with the gear flipped. With the modification, I ground the back of the chassis so I could flip the gear. And actually, this one here, I just glued with CA glue. Remember how I showed you the braid, how I bent it like an L? Across the front of the pickup and on the front face and just on the edge. I pushed it on like I showed you how I did the other one with the super glue only on the front. And this is only glued on, and then the rest of it from the edge here back is not even on the shoe. It's like up in the air. You could actually pull these up if you want, like a normal 1/32. I don't know if you could see that. So super glue across the front holding it on, and that's it. And the flipped gear. And this is stock with the rubber stock tires too, just like the Mustang I just ran, but the gear flipped. And now here's what they sound like with the braid on them. I think they sound smoother. So let's try to run this one and keep it in. Here, how smooth. They run smoother, but you gotta do the braid on them. Alright, It's kind of hard to drive and film. So that's the difference. Stock magnets, stock rubber tires, everything stock, but I put the pin on the guides, the red pipe, and this one has the braids, but they're glued on. You don't even have to solder, and the electric goes through, because if they're just glued on the front, when this presses down, it'll hit the pickup and make the electric go through. So that method works also. Now, the third method, soldered on the front of the pickups like I showed you with a little bit of super glue to hold them on first. Then you could solder them later after you hold them on with the super glue. The red pipe, my shims from the zip tie in this one, you could see them, to raise the magnets up. This one has the ground notch in the chassis, flipped gear so it goes the right direction on my track. And I have silicone tires on here. I think these are 0.558, I'm not sure. But anyway, they're silicone tires. Now let's see how this one runs. This is the one I beat my sister with last time. She's got to find the car to beat the Super Snake. Oh! I forgot. I'm used to the other one with the magnets. I forgot this one has the raised magnets. You see how you have to drive better? And it feels more zippy, like responsive. That's why I like it better like this. That's why most of our cars are going to be like this. And then when we run cars that are stock with the rubber tires, we could up the voltage to probably like 21, 22 volts. I tried and they still work good. And this is on 18 volts. I got the brake on too much. You could see our race when I raced this. The last HO race was this car. It runs good. Oh, open my mouth. It's just hard to drive and film, and the controller has the brake on set up all wrong. It's like jerky. But anyhow, that's that class we do. I like that. Now let's get on to the Auto World cars. These are stock. Just tweak the shoes a little bit to hit the track better. I think the red pipes fit directly onto these stock guide pins, the thin side like a pin, without drilling a hole in them. And I swapped magnet front to back so it goes the right direction for my track. And then we have silicone tires on these, but you could run the stock ones also. Let's just run a few of these real quick to show you. You could hear the pickup shoes make a louder noise, but they run really good, these cars. That's that one. And then we got this beauty here, this Camaro. Nice Hot Wheels. Same thing. Nothing special. Right out of the box. Just pressed on the tires and the pin and tweaked the shoes with just a hair. Let's see how it goes. Oh! Not used to this one. Oh, wrong controller. It's funny how they all ride different a little bit. Oh, this one's a fast one. Oh! Well, anyway, guys, yous asked for this video. I hope you learned how to tune the cars to run on those 1/32 tracks or even the Carrera Go. Like I said, policar, these rails are spaced a little further apart than like the Skeletric, so I think that's why it works on these, because they line up with the pickups. So policar, Carrera 1/32, 1/24 scale track, and the Carrera Go I think has the same spacing. Another thing, guys been asking about the Go cars, so let me show you those. The 143. all I do is sand a hair off the side of the guide on each side, just a little bit. It makes it run smoother. You could just use them and they'll wear in after a while, but that's what I do. I'm going to run it here. This is on 17.9 volts, so I'm just going to go slow. Whoa. But they go through the turns smoother when you sand the sides of the guides, just a hair on the pin. Alright, that's it. I hope this helps everyone out with the HO cars on the bigger tracks and even the 143 scale. I know, like I said, a lot of guys were asking. I didn't have everything prepared. I did the best I could. And I think that'll help you out. I'll link another video at the end showing how I have the shoes soldered on and glued on the HO cars, just so you could look at that also. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it as always. Please leave a like. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Leave all that good stuff to help the channel out. I appreciate you all watching as always. Thank you, guys. I'll see you later. Steve, ShenRC out.